All right.
All right, let's do
You
it.
ready to do it? I'm ready.
I'm ready, bro.
All right.
Let's
do,
do
we,
it.
do we have to restart anything or anything?
No,
or
we're recording. We'll do 3, 2, 1. That'll be sync.
All right.
So we started a podcast, bro.
Nice to see you here, brother.
Yeah, dude, you too.
We're starting one off.
Yeah, man, this is crazy. Kind of had a rant.
Cheers.
Cheers, bro.
Cheers.
Got the wine going.
Yes, sir.
It's in the loft, hence the name, the loft.
You got it in there?
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can see it right there. You can see it.
Yes.
So yeah, bro. Yeah, we started a fucking podcast.
It's legendary.
Yeah, I originally wanted to do one, but you hit me up about it and kind of just made it happen.
Yeah.
I originally was going to have you on as a guest because, here, I'll take this off. I was going to have you on as a guest, but...
We can hold it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I wanted to have you on as a guest, but, you know, you seem really into it and something you always wanted to do, so I figured it'd be cool to do something with you because we've been wanting to do stuff like that for a long time, but a lot of things got in the way, like school and work. Like you just got a new job and stuff like that. We really haven't had time, and yeah. And admittedly, bro, we kind of haven't been as close as we used to for a lot of reasons that we won't talk about.
Yeah, we'll leave the specifics out of it, but nah, but like you said, we've definitely always been, I don't know, I feel like we've always been looking to do things outside of the box. Yeah. And it's just something I've wanted to do for a long time, podcast, because I'm a big fan of podcasts. I listen to a lot of different ones. And
what do you listen to?
So I listen to, Joe Rogan's the biggest one I listen to. He has a lot of cool guests on and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, for sure, we've had our battles, and
yeah.
Going back all the way to high school.
Grade school,
yeah. Going
dude.
back, we've had battle after battle after battle, but I think at the end of the day, it's made us closer. I really do.
Through a lot, we've always come back to each other. Whether stuff we'll talk about later, but a lot of things definitely brought us apart, but also brought us together too, which is really cool. And there are times where I am just like, dude, I can't fucking stand this kid. But then there's times where I'm just like, but it's Nick. He's always gonna be my brother, always gonna be my guy. You know what I mean?
Of course. We're both very strong-minded people too. We have strong personalities, and we're both very, very competitive. I don't know many people who are more competitive than us.
Not many. To be honest with you. No.
And I feel like just as society in general is getting less and less competitive. I really do.
Yeah.
I feel like people in general are less competitive now, and I feel like me and you kind of come from a school of thinking where we always are going to think we're right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you kind of bring up a good point where people, it's not that they get less competitive, it's just they kind of give up. Whereas in grade school and stuff, we've always, you good?
Yeah, I'm
Your
good.
thing good?
I'm good.
All right. It's in grade school, we've always had stuff to fight for, whether it's this is a good idea. Cheers, bro.
But go ahead. Sorry, I didn't want to.
No, you're good.
Train of thought.
No, I was just saying, in grade school, if you're in a sport, you're competing to be on a team, or you know what I mean, or whatever you're doing. Most people are involved in sports because their parents make them involved in sports, and then when you are in high school, it kind of withers people out, or gets people out, and then college, you kind of go your own way. A lot of people move out of, whether they move out of Philly or they go somewhere else, or they go play a sport in college. People's lives change, and then I think the weird place we're in right now is that we're all out of school, so it's not we're competing for anything. So people have dreams and people have stuff they want to do, and then usually just give up and they settle for whatever life gives them. Because there's a thing I've been kind of thinking about where if you don't make the choice, life's gonna choose it for you. Life's gonna choose for you.
That's great. That's a great point.
And I'm at the point now. I'm just turned 24, and we're both so young that I gotta start making choices, and they're gonna be hard choices, and they're not gonna please everybody. But
Absolutely,
it's at the end of the day, if it if it messes with your mental health and it kills you, like, and it's not making you happy, then
Right.
that's the point in our life where we're at. Like we're not in high school. We don't get up at 7:30 anymore and have a routine that we are accustomed to, and we're not put in situations that life kind of tells us to, like whether it's like like sports or like go to proms, like stuff like that. You got to start making your own life where it's going to choose it for you. So
Exactly. I mean, I think one of the, like you said, we're 24. Sometimes I feel like I'm 44 though.
Yeah.
As crazy as that sounds, I mean, I think one of the biggest things I'm learning as I've been getting older is that I think when I was younger, a lot of times I did a lot of things for other people, and
Yeah.
I was always putting other people before myself.
For yourself,
I was always, just worried about how they perceived me, or am I I'm doing this because my friends would want me to do it. Even if it's something I didn't want to do.
Yeah.
If they were all doing it and they wanted to do it,
Yeah.
that's something I'm doing. And I've gotten to a point, man, where a lot of these challenges you face on an everyday basis, the only person you're seeing is the person that is your reflection in the mirror.
Yeah.
That's pretty much. I mean, you're always gonna have friends, you're always gonna have acquaintances, but I mean, no one's coming to save you. You know what I mean? When you're going through your battles and the darkest times of your life.
Yeah.
99% of the time,
you're by yourself.
You're alone.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you talked about making choices, and when you're making those choices, you have to have that in mind. Is that most people are going to let you down. It's just it's the nature of the world these days.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, people care. You know what I mean? I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. People care about themselves. You know what I mean? People care about themselves.
Everybody has an agenda. Everybody has something that they're striving for.
Everyone's living their own life.
Yeah.
That basically is what it comes down to.
There's nothing wrong with it, but when they use you and your intentions are pure and theirs aren't, that can kind of mess with you a little bit. So one of the biggest things throughout the last few years I've really respected about you, and I've actually looked up to with you in a lot of different ways, is the fact that I've seen firsthand you get attacked for things you do. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I know more than I know more than anyone. You don't give a shit.
No.
You don't give a shit what anyone says. You don't give it. You just keep going, man. And that takes something, man. That takes a certain level of security that most people don't have. Most people aren't that secure with who they are as a person, that they're willing to put themselves out there again and again and again, and get laughed at, get talked about, get attacked. And anybody who does that anyway, they do it because they're insecure about something.
Oh, for sure.
Anybody
100%.
who's that's one thing I realized
100%.
because that was something I even used to do. You have to look at yourself and admit things about yourself that's wrong with you that you don't ever want to admit about yourself.
Well,
and through this last, I don't know, really these last 4 or 5 months, I've really had to take a step back and look at who I am as a person and how I've been moving.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of stuff you realize about yourself that you don't necessarily like, and it's one of the hardest things in the world to admit your flaws. And one thing I did in the past was I judged people. You know what I mean? I made fun of people. I mean,
everybody has, man.
Yeah, no, of course, but I've attacked, I've laughed at, and one thing I realized is whenever I was doing that, it was because I was insecure about something with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the only reason you do something like that, is if you're insecure about something with you, and if you're not satisfied with who you are as a person. Otherwise, you have no reason to come at anybody else. That's why I try to stay away from it all, man. I try to stay out of the mix. I try to stay off social media.
Yeah, I noticed recently you've kind of, even like when we would go out to like parties and stuff when I would DJ, like you'd get like crazy anxiety before going out, because it's like I feel like it's just not who you are, but you're kind of just getting out of that zone, because I mean
I'm very introverted as a person. There's been a lot of times in my life where I forced myself to be extroverted, probably out of pure boredom. You know what I mean? Like the fact that I didn't want to sit in, or I didn't want to be alone.
Yeah.
we're all on a journey, you know what I mean? And we're young. We're freaking young as shit,
really,
man.
Dude, I think
it's crazy. Like, we're 24 and I'm still learning new things about myself every day. You know what I mean? I don't really even know who I am.
Yeah, absolutely.
And one of the biggest things I'm emphasizing right now, and I recommend it to everybody, is find out who you are first, man. Before you try to figure out anybody else, find out who you are, because I have very bad social anxiety in certain situations. If there's 40 of us in your house right now, and we're just hanging out, I'm fine. But if you take me kind of somewhere else, like you were saying, Patty Wax or something, you've seen firsthand how bad my anxiety gets.
Am I allowed to say it?
Go ahead.
Dude,
Go ahead.
Do you remember when I think I picked you up from somewhere, and we were going to Patty's, and we were on 95, and you started getting sick because you were just...
We were at Dever's house.
Yeah, Dever. Yeah, we were at...
Sorry, I don't want to name
shout
drop
out Dever.
anybody.
No,
Shout out Dever.
And
we were driving there, and I started throwing up.
Bro, yeah, you got sick, and I was just like, holy shit.
And that is something that is an anxiety issue. I've struggled with anxiety my whole life. Nobody knows that.
I never noticed it.
Nobody knows that about me.
Yeah, you were always user. Like,
I'm like we talked about in the beginning. I'm strong. I try to be strong-headed, and like I don't like to show things about myself. But man, anxiety for me goes all the way back to when I can remember. Yeah. And as crazy as this sounds, the more time I spend alone, the better I am at the better I'm becoming at mastering it, because through things like I try to meditate every day. Yeah. I've been trying to meditate every day. Am I always successful at it? No. There's days where I don't do it because life can be a bitch, man. When you wake up, you might have 10 things you want to do that day. You might only hit 5 of them. Yeah. You might only hit 5 of them. You know what I mean? I've been trying to read every day. Yeah. I've been trying to meditate every day. I've been trying to limit as much time as possible on my phone, on social media. Yeah. I mean, I can talk to you all night about social media.
I mean, dude, you might not be feeling it some days. You know what I mean? Like, you wake up and you're just not feeling like. I remember when, like, I still go to therapy, but I had this guy, this therapist. I'm not gonna say his name, but it was like you gotta vibe with the person you're with, like 100%. And we would go to like therapy, and he would like ask me to meditate, and it was just like I wasn't in a good space for it at that time. Yeah. But like I would wake up sometimes, and I'll sit there for like 30 seconds or like however long, and it's like kind of like try to be present, and it would help. It depends on the place and the time and how you feel. Like you're not gonna really be able to meditate if you're hungover or anything like that.
No, I that's another thing I've realized, that for me, now listen, everyone's different. I know people who can drink 5 nights a week and it causes 100%. No problem in their life. I'm the type of person where I can only maybe drink once a week. I gotta pick my night. You know what I mean? Because socializing is very important. That's one thing I learned. Socializing is very important. Having friends is a huge part of life. Having good friends that you're surrounded by, it's a huge part of your life. Yeah. You know what I mean? You're a human being. You need interaction.
You can't be alone.
But I need to limit it, because for me, physical health is a huge part for my mental health. Okay. Going to the gym. It's a huge part of
big for you.
And I know there's a lot of people out there that agree with that. Yeah. That physical and mental health go hand in hand. I'm sure I'm sure there's evidence done. I guarantee you that proves that right. But when I'm drinking or when I'm hungover, I can't go to the gym. You know what I mean? I miss. And it's a cycle, man.
It messes with your schedule and everything cycle. You want to do.
You miss the gym for a day. You don't meditate. You don't read. You don't.
It throws you off your schedule.
Exactly.
Like I remember there was a day, like I was DJing Patty's, and like I wasn't drunk at all, and I went home, and I woke up the next morning, and I woke up like 8 a.m. and I was like, dude, this feels awesome. Like I feel great. Like I'm able to get up and start my day. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but yeah, dude. Like, do you get hangover anxiety like I do? Like, dude, everybody talks about it, but it is real. It's real, man. Like, especially when I drink tea lights and stuff. But, dude, I get crazy hangover anxiety, bro.
Dude, get the worst hangover anxiety. I get the worst. I actually now have been getting the worst hangovers, period. One hard night of drinking puts me out for 2-3 days.
Because you're old now, bro.
I'm washed up, man. Puts me out. Nah, it puts me out for 2-3 days. I'm not even kidding. So, for perfect example, Sunday, I went to Patty Wax. I saw you there.
Yeah.
I was at Parks before that, unfortunately.
Love that.
That's a story for another time. Yeah, I don't recommend it.
How much you lose any money?
Yeah, don't play roulette.
No.
Don't play roulette. You can lose quick. So anyway, Sunday, whatever. We had a fun time. Dude, we haven't seen each other in a long ass time. You know what I mean? Me and you have not seen each other in a long ass time.
Yeah.
And it put me out. I didn't start feeling right again until like late in the day, Tuesday, bro. It takes a toll on me now.
Yeah.
It takes a toll on me,
Mm-hmm.
and I get the worst anxiety afterwards. I've had that for a while though. Like just I don't even know what it comes from. It's like you're just like.
I don't know. It's hard to explain. I feel like
I feel like you're just coming down off that rush. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, who knows? But dude, we never really used to get bad hangovers like that, though. You know what I mean? And I think it's just because
we're young.
Dude. I can't tee off more than 3 times in a night without wanting to throw up or anything.
That's crazy that you can even do that. I don't even do any of that.
It's just a talent that I developed. In college.
It's a very admirable skill.
Yeah, but I'm gonna refill and we'll be right back. Since we're talking about anxiety and stuff like that, what and who, like, you have any idols or like anything that helps you get through it? Anxiety, like when you start feeling it, like what do you do besides like meditate? Like what helps you get through it, man?
To be honest with you, man, I mean I can name people for you, but my biggest thing is I was just at daily mass this morning.
Okay. Do you go to mass every day, or you try to go every once?
I try to go every Sunday.
Okay.
Not always successfully because, like a lot of people, you know, I go back and forth with certain things, and when you're struggling, it's easy to give up on your faith. But my faith is something that's been instilled in me since I was a little kid.
Your family really. My
mom's very, very dedicated to religion, her faith, and yeah, man. I mean, I pray through a lot of stuff. And you know, I don't care whether you believe in it or not. You know, I don't. Who knows? But it at the end of the day, it does make me feel better. But yeah, I try to pray. I try to ask Jesus for help and strength with a lot of things, because I just feel like there's so much pain out there right now, man.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of pain. I feel like there's a lot of depression. There's a lot of anxiety.
Especially now with COVID, you know, you can't leave your house.
Yeah, I mean, there's people locked up in their house. People are losing their businesses. People are, you know, struggling financially, struggling to take care of their families.
And their businesses and shit too. Like,
small businesses are shutting down.
Yeah, and especially now with the new lockdown. I mean, I don't know what they're going to do with that. Like I said, we're not going to get too political, but it's just like, I just think they're doing it all wrong.
I totally agree. I think the government needs to stay out of the people's way.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree. This country was based on the people, not the government. Yeah. You know what I mean? And we're all adults, and we're all capable of making our own choices and our own decisions. Yeah,
and they're trying to use. I feel like they're trying to use COVID as a way to control us. Like, like the whole thing.
They're trying to see how much they can do to us.
Like, it has to be. When I first heard about how they're gonna like shut everything down and stuff, my first thought was like, there's no way you can tell somebody that you can't go to someone's house for Thanksgiving or anything like that.
Right.
And like, I just feel like it should be at the person's risk. Like, you see people that, you know, come out to, you know, the patties and stuff and wherever, you know, in the Northeast, and it's like, it's got to be at your own risk, you know, because we're all, you know, at the end of the day, it's proven that it doesn't affect people who really are young. I mean, there are some, but like, most people who have it, they're sick for a few days and stuff like that. And I know that it can affect the people you bring it home to, which, I get that. But that has to be a conversation within the household. But there's no way you can tell a business to not stay open. Like, it has to be, at your own risk. You do it at your own risk. Maybe give more restrictions in the restaurant or whatever, but like, just not, you can't flat out tell somebody they have to close down or can't have people in the restaurant because they're just going to go down. And the mayor in the live stream was talking about it, and he was like, I watched the live stream on Facebook, and he was like, if, I know we got to shut everything down and businesses might go under, but that's how it has to be. And it's like, it doesn't, because that's people's livelihoods, and like, they're not the ones that are affected. Like, cause I went to the store today and I asked the person, I'm like, yo, you guys shutting down? And like, I don't know. They have no idea. And I said, we had like a little talk about it, but I just told him it was a little messed up that, you guys have to shut down, or you might have to, because it's, most people are going to be fine from COVID, and they're going to have a vaccine, and
99.5% or whatever the number is are fine.
And people do get affected. Like, my mom had it 2 weeks ago. She just got past it, and she was on the couch. She worked from home still, but she was sick. You know what I mean? But, I don't know. It's difficult, man.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, she didn't want to tell anyone, but like,
right.
It don't matter anymore. No. She's good, but it's been a rough year.
My whole thing is, man, like, if you're 24 years old and you have a sick parent at home, or you have somebody with, issues and you're worried about them, you're worried about bringing COVID home to them, then you need to be mature enough to stay away from people. And you know what I mean? And like,
thing.
And like,
it's like responsibility.
I trust people. I trust people. I don't trust government. I don't trust government to tell the people what to do. I trust people to be smart enough to know right from wrong, to know what to do. And like you said, it's at your own risk. If you do something, or you go somewhere and your whole family gets sick, or whatever the case may be, like, I mean, a lot. I mean, I'm not going to act like there aren't people dying from COVID, but at the same time, there's way more people recovering.
There has to be some sort of like leeway. There has to be some give and take there with that.
I mean, you can't just have businesses closing down left and right, because at the end of the day, the economy's going to crash, and then what?
A depression.
Then what? Right.
Great Depression.
You're not going to have any. You're not going to have any businesses open. Walk around Philadelphia. There's.
Yeah. I mean,
everything's boarded up.
I've been researching like unemployment, and I think like within the last 2 weeks, I mean, I could look it up, but around 700,000 people, like, once, with the lockdown and stuff, like, more and more people are on unemployment. And
you want to talk about mental health? If you are on unemployment, if you're at home, if you're struggling to pay your bills, if you're struggling to provide for your family, and you have any sort of addiction, or you have any mental health issues, all that's going to do is amplify it.
Amplify it, for
sure. To a whole nother degree.
Because, people can't go to work, and then what do they got to do? You know what I mean?
And
they don't have money.
And there's already, I hate to, I've tried to do a mantra in my life, as of late, just positivity and positive thinking and speaking positive things into existence. And I'm a big believer in, I believe in the law of attraction. I believe in all that stuff, man.
Yeah, 100%.
I study that. That's something I go deep into.
Yeah.
And I try, to, in my own life, I've been doing an exercise where, like, anytime there's a negative, or the average person would perceive an event as negative, I try to think of something positive in it. I've been trying to always look at the positive, but you got to also be realistic about some things. And there's pain out there, man. There's pain out there, and so and I keep going back to it, man. I'll talk about this till
you're blue in the face.
Till I'm blue in the face. Social media has caused irreversible damage to people.
Yeah.
It really, really has.
100%.
I cannot emphasize this enough, dude.
Bro, it's the culture.
I can't.
It's the culture, and it's the way that they try to like tell people like that you're valid, or you have validation if you get likes or stuff like that, and it's really fucked up people mentally. You know, people don't want.
And it's not only the validation; it's also the fact that, you know, there's endorphins released in your brain when you get likes.
Yeah, and
think about that.
And then when you go to check and you don't get the likes, you're just like
you're down in the dumps.
You're sad.
You're like, what the heck?
People fake delete stuff,
and
then
it's just I've seen people go so far for status on social media that I can't even believe it, dude.
Yeah.
It's like I've seen people do just completely. I don't even just completely risk it all just to get, you know, likes or get validation or get, and it's crazy because as soon as they put the phone down, they're depressed.
Yeah,
they're depressed. It's insane.
It's because it's a highlight reel, bro. It's social media is a highlight reel.
It's all it is.
It's all it is.
It's all it is.
I mean, like you can even tell like people who like the craziest thing. Not that I like to see it, but I can just tell it's so obvious. Is when somebody gets out of a breakup and they start posting like crazy. You can tell. Like you can tell because they can post that.
You know they were just in a relationship.
Yeah, and you just know that they're posting because they're trying to get over it. Right. Or you know what I mean? Like they're sad and they're trying to cover it up and they try to extra cover it up. Right. And it just makes it more obvious. And it's sad to see, but it's just kind of a reality.
The saddest thing to see, I talk to my parents about this all the time. I always say to them like, you have no idea how lucky you guys were to grow up in a generation where, you know, when my dad was taking my mom out on a date, you know what they did? My dad would call my mom on the house phone. My mom's mom, my grandmother would pick up, and my dad would say, "Hey, is Kim there?" Whatever. They would talk. "Hey, let's meet here. I'll pick you up Saturday night." That was it.
Yeah,
that was it.
Yeah, life was simple.
Now it's
even when we were growing up, bro. We were going to Holy Family dances and shit. It was like so easy, so simple.
I don't tell me you don't feel this, but just the vibes in the air felt different when we were younger.
Sure,
the vibes in the air felt different. Everything's like dull now, dude. Yeah. Everything's dull now.
It is.
When I go outside, something isn't right. Something feels off.
I started feeling that way, like since I was 16. Like, and I think it's just because. You know, with when I lost my grandma, a lot happened that year, bro. And it's like it's whenever your innocence gets taken, if that makes sense. The day you lose your innocence is the day that you realize life isn't. You know. That's
one of the best things I ever heard.
It really it's true.
Is.
It's true, bro.
It is.
It's true, and. You know, yeah, like I said, like the day you lose your innocence is the day everything changes and you realize life isn't as great as it. Not great. Like life can be as good as you want it to be.
Absolutely.
But it's you realize that it's not perfect and it's not the way it was growing up. Like not everything's not innocent, and you start finding stuff out. Like for any kids watching, never mind saying it. You know, never mind. But you know, you get the point. Like you start finding out things. You know, stuff starts falling apart. You know, people start going through stuff like. Real life stuff happens, like anxiety.
I was just about to say to you, one of the biggest things I wanted to talk to you about tonight was real life stuff, because there's people out there that are struggling. There's people out there that are suffering.
Yeah, 100%.
I've suffered from anxiety. I've suffered from depression. I've suffered from all of that stuff.
Yeah,
and I'm not looking for any. I'm not saying that because
you want sympathy.
I want sympathy. I'm saying it because I want to help people.
Yeah,
it's real, bro.
Yeah.
It's no joke. This stuff, this stuff is real, and the suicide rates with teenagers and kids our age are freaking through the roof.
It's going up, and you could even say suicide and drug use, bro.
Drug use is a direct correlation a lot of times to anxiety and depression.
Right? Yeah.
They just want the pain to stop. They want that feeling to go away.
Yeah. And
and I think when you said about the innocence getting taken away, I was so spot on, because I just feel like when we were in grade school, when we were in Calvary, like everything was so pure and innocent.
Yeah.
Everything was so innocent,
Yeah,
dude. The furthest you were going with a girl is you guys were gonna kiss.
Kiss and go to the movies or something.
You were gonna kiss and hug and call it a night.
Yeah.
Once all that purity gets taken out of the picture, man,
hell
enters.
Hell
enters.
I mean, yeah, dude, to a degree.
I'm not even kidding.
Nah, I believe you, and like it's because
I'm not even kidding.
It's because you get your emotions start to get involved, and you start like doing other things, and you start like and then like the whole cheating stuff.
Well, you get so emotionally attached.
You get
to
emotionally.
the person.
That's a good way to put it.
Once you guys start having sex, the emotional attachment becomes unbearable.
Yeah, and you start getting older, and everyone starts hanging out, and everyone's intentions aren't so pure anymore because we're older now, and things happen, and people say stuff, and people do stuff behind your back, and people, it will be fake to your face, and it's just not so simple anymore. Life isn't so simple anymore.
You get to the point where you literally ask yourself, is there anybody I can trust?
Yeah.
Is there anybody I can trust?
Yeah.
Like, you get to the point where you sit there and ask yourself that question. Like, and you contemplate it. You go through your life and you literally do like an audit of the people you're with and surrounded by on a daily basis, and you say, can I trust any of these people?
Yeah.
And when the answer's no, that's a lonely feeling, man.
Yeah.
That's a lonely feeling. And there's a lot of people out there who have that feeling where they feel like they can't trust anybody. And if you're in a relationship right now. If you're in a relationship right now, the trust is it's just so hard to trust. Yeah. It's so hard to trust because there's so many outlets for people when they're going through a rocky period in a relationship. There's so many ways out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's 100%. There's this person in my DMs who's right there available. Yeah. If I'm having one little problem.
It's instant. Yeah.
It's instant gratification.
I mean, yeah.
It's unbelievable, dude.
Yeah. That leads back to your social media. Like everything's instant. Everyone starts to want things instantly, and it's the best things are worth waiting for. Like it's straight up, and it sounds so gay and cliche, but
who cares?
It's so true. You know what I mean? But
it is true. It is true. I really don't care, man, because listen, the things I haven't waited for and the things I've rushed into, all it's ever done was bite me in the ass. Yeah. You know what I mean? So you got to have patience. Patience is a huge thing. I think so many of us are so hard on ourselves and so quick to judge ourselves. Like, I know comparisons are a huge thing. This book I'll recommend to anybody who listens to this. It's called 12 Rules for Life by Jordan Peterson. Okay. He is a
psychiatrist?
Big time psychologist. He's like the modern day Sigmund Freud, dude. He's that big. You look on his YouTube page, he's got millions and millions of views on almost every video. And in his book, he lays out these 12 rules for life to follow, that if you follow these rules, you're going to become the best version of yourself, basically. I read the book. It's the best book I ever read in my life. Matter of fact, I read the book probably 6 months ago now, and I'm halfway through the audiobook. That's the effect it had on me.
That's awesome, bro.
So I read it, and then I bought the audiobook after.
That's sick.
But one of his rules in the book is compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not to who somebody else is today.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's huge for me.
That's huge, actually.
That's huge for me.
Yeah.
Because one of the things he lays out is, and catch me on a weekday, dude. I'm listening to this guy's YouTube videos all day long. I listen to this guy all the time. But one of the things he lays out about it is everyone's journey and everyone's circumstance is different. Yeah. So you can't compare yourself to anybody else because nothing about your lives are the same. Yeah. The only person you can match up against is you. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah,
and I mean, that's a great point.
It's the reason why a lot of people give up is because they compare themselves to somebody else. Dude, I'm guilty of it. You know what I mean? I'm not innocent. Like,
so am I.
It's crazy. I think I'm old. I'm 24. I think I'm old for that. But like, then I try to, like my grandma.
We're children.
Yeah, we're legit. adolescence. But no, my grandma says something that really sticks with me is that when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change.
And it's so true because do you know how young you are when you're 30?
You still are.
You haven't even
young.
started yet.
Yeah, your life.
There's so many things that, like, I always think about, like, the best parts of our lives haven't even happened yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, anybody our age group who's down on themselves or who's thinking, I messed my life up, or it's too late for me, and whatever. We all have these self-defeating thoughts, right? We all struggle with this internal dialogue of negativity, and it's almost natural, I feel. It's almost something that you wake up with, and you got to carry it, but you have to learn how to reverse it. You have to learn how to make your internal dialogue positive.
Yeah.
And
it's affirmation.
Absolutely. And anybody who's thinking that about themselves right now, who's our age, our lives haven't even begun yet.
Yeah.
It takes one decision to change everything about your life.
Yeah.
One decision can change your whole entire life.
Yeah.
That's something I think about constantly.
Absolutely.
I think about that all the time.
Absolutely, bro. Like, yeah, I mean, dude, it's like, and it's the compound effect. It's little things. Like, like, we woke up this morning. I had this little thing set up for a little bit, and then, like, I was like, am I going to do this? Am I going to do this? Then you texted me, and you kind of, like, pushed me to do it, and I was like, dude, like, he's so right. And we just kind of, we're doing it. Like, we're kind of out here just doing a sipping wine, have a little podcast, something light, something casual, and it's like, still like the little things. It's one step at a time, and it's like, you know what I mean? You don't know what one decision can turn into. I'm trying to think of
I'll tell you what it comes down to for me is comfort scares me.
Yeah.
Comfort is one of the biggest things in life that scares me.
Dude, 100%.
The second I get comfortable is the second I know I'm not doing something right.
Yeah, absolutely.
When I'm comfortable, it's like a mechanism in my brain or my body kicks in and says, dude, get the F out of this.
Yeah.
Get out of this as fast as you can.
Yeah.
And do something different. Like, do something different. And
dude, yeah.
It's just so funny to me because, like, I don't know. I just felt like I feel like neither of us have ever really fit in. You know what I mean? I feel like we've never fit in.
Whether it was in grade school, high school, to me, me speaking personally, I always felt like something was off with the people I was with. Like, not that I hate anybody, but I feel like the wavelength, or, not trying to get like trippy, but like, just the way I think it's different than a lot of people, and a lot of people didn't understand it. Like when I put out the song Cheers, like that was like the first song.
Great song.
Like that was just like a song I did for fun. Like same thing with this. Like we woke up one day and said, let's do a podcast. Fuck it. Like, yeah, we could put this together. We're professional as fuck looking. I may add, but it's like I woke up one day and said, dude, like I'm 21 years old. What do I want to do today? Like I want to do a song. So I went and bought a beat online. I was at Temple and I was listening to it all the time. Cause I was trying to write to it. I never sung on anything in my life. Like I'm a shower singer, and I remember I was at the Temple train station and I wrote the entire song. And before the train, like I was in a coffee shop at Temple.
That's amazing.
After class. No, I mean, that's saying like I was just like, it was just little things like that. Like I wrote it in a coffee shop after, class, getting ready to get on the train to go home, and got home, and I was lucky my boy introduced me to Kid Travis, and now he's killing it. But
who introduced you to him?
Jake Dawg, my boy Jake.
Jake.
Jakey Day.
Jake Dawg.
Yeah, and he, so I remember I got introduced to him, and we went to his house, because I was like, yo, like, can you hook me up, anyone who sings? And my boy Jake was like, yeah, my friend Kid Travis. I'm like, who the hell is that? And so he introduced me to him, and like me and him, like we're best friends now, we're boys now. And me and all my guys, like, my film guy Rahi and my boy Matt and Shad and all them, Sonny. And now we're all like best friends because of one decision that I made. And me and Jack got together and we wrote the song and we put it out. And it's like, I got criticism over it because I think it was something different. And it might not have been the best song in the world, but it was my first one. And it's like, I guess it's crazy because people don't respect it until they see results. You know what I'm saying? And it's like the grind is so hard because it's like, you got to do that shit like in the shadows, because No one's going to see what you're doing behind closed doors. No one's going to see any of that. The only time they're going to say something is when you start popping off. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not there yet, but like, you know, it's just one of those things where it's hard when you don't fit in.
Yeah,
I
mean, the biggest, like you were just saying, how one decision put you with Kid Travis, and it put you with new connections, right?
Yeah.
And one of the other things I fear, and I think about it all the time, is regret.
Dude.
Is regret, and not putting myself out there, and not making the decision that could maybe change
the course of your life,
the course of my and my family's life.
Yeah, bro.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It comes down to the micro routines. It comes down to the smallest things turn into big things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just so funny to see from afar. Like, I've been watching for a long time now, and I'm a quiet.
You're a fly on the wall.
You
bro.
know me.
Yeah,
when I have to, I'll put my foot down. But
yeah.
But I try to be quiet. I try to not talk, and I try to not entertain the bullshit. You know what I mean? And I've been watching for a long time now, but it's just so funny to see, like, how much of a weirdo do you have to be to attack somebody else for pursuing something that they're passionate about?
Yeah.
And for real, I'm being dead serious about this one. How much of a weirdo do you have to be?
Yeah.
To attack another man,
or girl,
or
bro.
woman, whatever, for what they're doing.
Yeah.
I would never attack anybody for anything. Do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
I got nothing against anybody.
Yeah.
I'm worried about me, my family, and my friends that I can count on.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah,
if you're
bro.
worried about somebody else and you're attacking them, because I remember in the past, I don't know, I remember stories you were telling me, and I can't remember off the top of my head whether it was comments you were receiving or I don't even know if it was a message you received from people who were just saying the meanest things and just things that are flat out like, you're a weirdo.
Yeah,
like,
bro.
who does that?
It's crazy because
it's just weirdo shit, bro.
Yeah,
it's weirdo shit,
dude. It's small minded. I mean, to each is their own. If that's what makes you happy or whatever, that's all you, bro. If you want to be a hater, dude, that helps. It helps me. Yeah, it helps me at the end of the day.
And they're a clown if they do that, though.
Dude, and like, guess what? That's on them. And like, they won't understand until they find something they're passionate about or something they want to do. And like, dude, I've definitely encouraged, like, I encourage people to try something. You know what I mean? Like, don't feel weird about it, like, at all. You know what I mean? Like,
bro, you get one life.
Yeah, and
you get one life. All it takes is for someone close to you. Yeah. I'm telling you right now, all it takes, bro, is for someone close to you to pass away, where you realize that you have one life, bro.
Yeah.
You have one effing life. I'm trying to keep this PG-13.
I've already cursed a million
I
times.
know. But
I get it.
Do whatever. Like, don't settle, man. That's my biggest message. Don't settle.
Bro.
And I'm 24 years old. Like, I don't know anything yet. I'm not going to sit here and act like I have a PhD and I'm this, I'm that. I'm nobody.
Yeah, but it's what you've been through, bro. And dude, I literally have
just don't settle. Yeah.
I have "don't settle" written on my wall on a piece of paper,
it's
bro.
Unbelievable. I've seen your writings. I love them.
Not that my writing's great, but I write. So what I started to do is like, cheers, bro.
Thank you for the good pour.
Of course. Nah. So like, no, one day I woke up and I was like, I was just like, I was just feeling like down in the dumps, I guess. But one day I just started writing down, like, I'm a visual learner, and one thing I did was I would write down quotes that I have, or like anything like that, and then things that, like, affirmations. Like, I have "don't settle" on my wall. I have my grandmama's quote on my wall. You know what I mean? I have "you are not your surroundings" on my wall, like stuff like that. And then I have a bunch of dreams and goals that I have down the road. And
I love that.
It's so important to see those things. It's so, like, no matter, even if you're not directly like thinking about it, if you're passing it, it's always in your head. You know what I mean? Like, you're always constantly thinking about it.
It's always in your subconscious. Writing is one of the most powerful tools you can ever take on. Do you journal?
I did. I tried, not so much anymore, but like in 2016 when I lost my grandmom, I wrote in a journal. It's crazy because I'll probably have to go look for it, but I wrote in a journal every single day. I wrote about how I was feeling, and like it's just crazy because it hasn't really changed that much, bro. Like I would go back and reread the journal and nothing's changed. You know what I mean? And it's like the craziest thing because you think in your head, like, when is your life going to change? Like, when? And it's going to have to be through those decisions. And it kind of goes back to the point, like, when you lose that innocence, bro, your life changes, man. And it's just how you're going to adapt and make yourself happy because, like, you know, like we said, like, if you don't make that decision, life's going to do it for you. And you're going to snap and you're going to be 35 years old and whatever, however old, and you're going to have regrets, like you said, bro. Like, I'm like, I don't know. You just gotta, if there's something out there that like makes you happy, do it. If you want to blog, if you want to travel, if you want to do this or that, do it, because the people that are talking shit are gonna be the ones that are at the same bar, or they're gonna be the ones who are gonna have those same regrets that you would have.
Exactly. Just back to journaling. It's one of the most powerful things I've ever done.
Journaling?
It is. Yeah. Getting my thoughts down on paper has been so useful for me.
Yeah.
I started journaling not too long ago. This is all this stuff I'm talking about. It's probably been within the last year.
Yeah, I'm listening, bro.
Journaling has really helped me just sort out my thoughts. I think more than anything, because sometimes, you know, when your mind's racing, it's so hard to hone in on what your mind's trying to tell you.
Yeah.
And when you put it all down on paper, it's very easy to kind of, it's never very easy. Nothing in life's easy, but it makes it a little bit more manageable to break down.
I think people, dude, that's so smart, because I'm great. That's awesome you told me that, because I feel like people forget. Like, people just forget to, like, people are so in the moment and they're so in their normal lives that they never just take a step back and just kind of think like, yo, maybe I should, you know, journal or go to a therapist. Like, these things got to be more encouraged more, bro, because they're just not. And I think one of the reasons why me and you even wanted to do this is because we just got to encourage that it's okay to not be okay. And it's okay to, you know, go to therapy or to journal or to take care of your mental health, because, bro, like, if you don't do that first, you're never going to be able to be happy or do things that make you happy or make another person happy. Like, you know what I mean? It's so important, and it's got to be cool to do that. And I feel like no one talks about it enough. And if you want to go and talk shit, that's on you. That's fine. But you know deep down that it's true, because there are a lot of stuff that people go through behind closed doors. And I know you are perfect. You do, and I do, and you know what I mean. Like 2 weeks ago, like I don't know how or why, but dude, it was like 2 weeks ago, and it was like a Monday after Patty's. I was hungover, and like that entire week, I didn't get out of bed, bro. I didn't leave my house for an entire week, and then I gotta go to and DJ that Friday night and that Sunday night, and it's like, it sucks, because like the entire week you just feel like you're doing nothing. You feel like you can't move. You feel like you're paralyzed, and it's like the most, like, one of the worst feelings.
All you want to do is sleep.
Yeah.
And it's amazing because there's so many people out there that are going through battles like that, and none of us know. Like a lot of people whoever listens to this, like, there's like, you're probably my best friend. You're a great friend to me. We've known each other since we were freaking, dude. We've known each other for our whole lives.
Long time.
I didn't even know that about you. You know what I mean? So that's what I mean. There's things that your friends are battling right now that you have no idea about.
Yeah.
And I'm so sick of, like we keep bringing up, like, it has to become a topic, right?
Yeah.
At a certain point, what does it really become about? What is like, you sit back and think, at a certain point, what does life really become about, right?
Yeah.
Does it become about are you going to be real or are you going to be fake at the end of the day?
Yeah.
And I can't stand fakes. I can't stand fake shit.
Yeah.
I just can't stand it. I can't look you in the eye, man to man, if I know you're fake behind closed doors toward me and shake your hand. I just can't.
Yeah.
I can't tolerate it. I can't do it.
I'm too nice, bro. I gotta work on that.
I know.
I'm too nice.
I know you are. You are very nice. But there's people out there. Everybody, there's always going to be people talking shit. But at the end of the day, they got to look themselves in the mirror. Yeah. At the end of the day, they got to look themselves in the mirror and figure their own shit out.
Yeah.
They got to figure their own shit out.
And I've never understood like how doing that makes you feel okay. Like I don't understand
it's
how. It's
weird shit, man.
Like, dude, like ever since I started doing music and shit and like I started getting criticism or whatever, like now it doesn't affect me at all. But like back then it did, and I used to like.
You're human.
I would call.
It naturally affects you.
Yeah, and I would call my boy Jed. His kid Travis, but I like to call him Jed. He's my boy. I would call him and I'll say, dude, just promise we were gonna get out of here. Promise we were gonna make it, and all this stuff. Like I was going through it, bro, and like it hurt a lot to like have a person that you don't even know. That's the thing, is that you don't even know these people that are saying shit. And like,
which makes them even weirder.
Weird as fuck.
That makes them even weirder.
Yeah, bro. Like,
I've never in my entire life talked about somebody that I don't know.
You don't know, and that's the crazy part.
Ever.
Yeah, bro. I'm like, I don't know who you are. I mean, I don't think it doesn't happen anymore. But like, when it did, like, and like when I was 21, like it did a lot because like the song was so mixed. It had mixed reviews and like stuff like that. And then I would keep trying to put out covers and stuff, and I still am. And and I still don't worry. Like January, bro, like, dude, this is, we're putting out some good stuff in January, and I'm excited.
Absolutely.
I'm really excited about it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, bro, like it makes me feel good when I see somebody from Northeast, especially because it's so like a bubble. Like you said, it's a bubble, and seeing people in Northeast want to do something new.
It's a dark black hole is the way I describe it. Dark, ugly black hole.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, it is, bro.
And I can't get out of here quick enough.
Yeah,
I'm sorry to say it.
That's okay.
I'll never forget my roots. I'll never forget where I came from, and I'll never forget, what made me. But, I'm on the first train out of here.
Yeah, man, as you should. And you're making guap now. You're doing your thing. But I always try to tell myself that, like, if I see somebody posting about it and doing something new, it makes me so happy, bro. Like, when I see somebody traveling or posting blogs, like, or even doing music too, like anything, it makes me so happy because it means that they're willing to try. Like, they're willing to try.
And there's no failure in going for it.
No,
there's
not at
no
all.
failure in going for it. Even if you fail, the fact that you went for something is in and of itself the victory.
It's huge.
The fact that you just went for it.
It's huge because
you can't be afraid to put yourself out there.
Yeah, bro, because what it means is one day you woke up and said, I don't give a shit what anyone thinks, and you do what makes you happy, because at that time it did. And, sticking with it and doing that is a whole other thing. I'm guilty of it, bro. Like, but it's just cool that people are able to like do that now. And I think it's when you get out of that high school bubble or college bubble, because you realize that shit, I'm 21 years old, I'm 22 years old, and I got to do something in my life now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not a game anymore.
It's no jokes now.
Yeah, no jokes, bro, but yeah, man.
And sometimes silence is the greatest noise.
Yeah.
That's another thing I've learned. Sometimes just not responding to people who are talking shit on you, or people who are talking behind your back, or people who are whatever they're doing. Sometimes just no response is the best response, man.
Bro, because for every 2 people that hate on you, you have 3 more that love you and that help you and support you. And those are the people you got to focus on. And that's what I'm learning, is because all the comments go the other way, man. Like,
I really hope for our generation as a whole, for our age group as a whole, I really hope we all collectively eventually start turning away from social media.
I mean, yeah.
I really do. Like, I really think.
What do you mean by that, though? Like,
just turning it off, man. Just going silent for a while.
I think what you said.
Figuring out who the fuck you are, man.
I think what you're trying to say is, do you think there should be more of a balance?
Absolutely. I think there should be. even I fall to it all the time where I'm checking my phone every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm checking my Instagram and Snapchat every 5 minutes.
Yeah, man.
Nothing's on there.
There's nothing that you.
No one's hitting me up. You know what I mean?
Your shit's dry.
I'm dry. No one's hitting me up. And I'm on there every 5 minutes, checking. Bro, it's dead at the end of the day.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
not going to sit here and compromise who I am just checking.
Dude, 100%.
And it sucks because I feel like there's so many people out there that are caught up in it. And myself included.
We all are. I mean,
it's an addiction.
Dude.
The phone is an addiction, man.
Bro, I get dude, if I don't hit a certain amount of likes, I feel like I'm like, dude, what the hell did I do wrong? And it's crazy because I'll post a picture like 5 something. I'm like 500 likes. What I'm like, all right, that's great. I feel great. I said I feel good about myself now. I said
we all fall into it.
I can wait until the next one. I don't post a lot, whatever, but
yeah, no.
I'll post it's crazy. All right, so when I post my music or something that's different or something like that, it won't get as many likes, and I'm
of course.
But the trick is with that, in case anyone's watching who wants to start something or do something, you're not gonna get a lot of likes in the beginning because people don't understand it, and
just keep pumping out content.
And people are so with the grain or so group minded.
I'll take the words for. I'll put the words in your mouth for you. 99.9% of people are followers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Followers. Just flat out followers. I'll give you a prime example. I'll talk sports for a minute.
Okay.
I'll give you a prime example. Last year, the Sixers, right? We all love the Sixers. We're huge basketball guys. Me and you, by the way. We just got Seth Curry and Danny Green.
Shout out to them. And Tyrese Maxey, bro. Yeah, that dude's
I seen that too. I seen that. That's a good pickup. That's a good draft pick. From Kentucky. From Kentucky. Listen, if we're getting somebody from Kentucky, I'll take them. No, we're talking about how most people, 99.9% of people are followers.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I brought it to sports. I was trying to do a sports example. I'm actually going to give 2 sports examples. My first sports example is last season when we lost Butler because he didn't want to be on the Sixers. He didn't like Brett Brown, and he just didn't fit in.
He wanted to be the man, and
exactly.
He just wasn't. He wasn't. He wasn't.
So we lost J.J. Redick and Jimmy Butler, and Jimmy Butler was the only dog that we had on this team. Ben Simmons is not a dog. Joel Embiid's not a dog.
Yeah.
They are good regular season players, and whenever they get in the playoffs, they shit the bed. Every time. Every single time.
That's how it has been, for sure.
That's how it's been so far.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. They're young, but I'm kind of getting sick of that excuse because there's a lot of players that are young in the league, and they're killing it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm hearing through the grapevine everywhere I go and everywhere I look how much better the Sixers got.
I'm setting a timer. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. How much better the Sixers got. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, wait, where did we get better at?
Yeah.
We lost J.J. Redick, who's our best three-point threat. Granted, he's a liability on the defensive end, but he's our best three-point threat, and he's a good-ass offensive player.
Yeah,
he's a good locker room presence.
He filled his role very well.
Yeah, and he's a good locker room presence. And we lost Jimmy Butler, our only guy on the team who can close out a game.
Yeah, and he's proven it.
And he's proven it.
On our team.
He's proven it on our team. And the only guy who's got that dog in him. We gained Al Horford, who granted has been a very good NBA player and he's a good vet, whatever. But I never really thought he was going to fit in with the Sixers.
He didn't at all.
And I never really did. And we got Josh Richardson, and everyone was telling me we got better. Just because that was the cool thing to say at the time, I think. And most people were following. And I kept saying to everybody, how did we get better? Where did we get better? And of course, we got worse. Worse.
You gotta admit that Richardson was good against us, so we thought he'd be better on our team. He was very good, young rising star.
And he wasn't good for us.
He wasn't, and I just don't think he was a good fit. And I think because Ben and Joel are so ball, they need the ball, and it's if Richardson isn't having the ball, he's not going to be, what he is in Miami. But I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I think Darryl and Doc are going to do their job and they're going to do their thing. I mean, they already have. They got 3 great players already. Like I like Danny Green. I like.
But it still doesn't put us over the hump.
Not yet. I mean, we're going to figure that out. But you got to see too if Doc Rivers can unlock Tobias Harris. Remember when he was on LA Clippers and he was, I don't know if he was on the All-Star team, but
Yeah,
he
was good that year.
About to be when Doc was coaching him. And I think, if there's anyone who can make Tobias a good player again, it's Doc. And they're already showing that they are willing to do what they have to do, like getting rid of Al's contract and stuff like that. But we'll end this topic. We'll put a pin in that.
Another guy, real quick, I want to bring up.
Don't say it.
That everyone's a follower about. And you can ask my buddy here.
Don't say it.
Who is one of the only people sitting across from him right now, myself, who has been consistently against this guy.
Don't say it, dude.
Carson Wentz. For years now. For years now, I've been arguing to the death with people over this guy.
Oh my God.
He doesn't have it. He doesn't have it. He'll never have it.
Dude.
He's in his 5th year now in the league. 0 playoff wins.
Bro.
1 playoff appearance. He was out within the first 3 minutes of the game.
Bro, I just think
the guy, he doesn't have it. Some people have it and some people
I
don't.
just think he lost it when
he got hurt.
Tore his ACL.
He's
he was never the same.
You're 100% right.
And
before his injury, he was legit.
And I'll be dead ass with you too, bro. Wentz or Nick Foles, that was a lightning in a bottle.
Nick Foles has something Wentz doesn't.
I love that you always bring this up every conversation.
It's called the winning gene. It's called the winning gene.
Yeah, it's the winning
Some
gene.
people don't have that winning gene. It's hard to find. You can't find
bro.
it easy, man.
No, it's not
There's
easy.
only certain quarterbacks in the league who can go down and take your team down on a 2-minute drive and win the game for you in Chicago in the playoffs on 4th down at goal line and throw a touchdown like Nick Foles did.
Yeah, bro.
He almost took us back to a 2nd Super Bowl in a row, but we'll save the sports for another day.
Yeah.
I kind of was just leading into that.
No, I wanted to talk to you about I want to ask you a question, and this might be an easy question. Mm-hmm. What do you think stops people from chasing their dreams? Like, what do you think is like the core, or what do you think are some factors? Because I think it's important that people, whoever's watching this, listening to this, whatever, like, I just think it's so important that you get some affirmation that if you have a dream, you can't, and it's so cliche, but you can't, like, you just can't worry about what everybody else is saying or thinking. And I wanted to ask you what your thoughts are on it. What do you think stops people from chasing their dreams?
I think there's a few different reasons. I think one of the biggest reasons is fear. I think fear of failure.
Yeah.
I think fear of opinion. I think fear of opinion even from your own family. I think there's family members who dictate what people decide sometimes.
Yeah.
Everybody's raised differently. So I definitely think sometimes, that's a big factor for some people, that their family would have something to say about them pursuing a certain thing that they necessarily don't want them to go after. 100%. I also think another thing is people never specify what they want.
Yeah.
And the reason they don't specify it is because they don't want to set up, they never want to set up the determinants for failure.
What do you mean by that?
What I mean is they don't ever come out with what their dreams and goals are because they're afraid of failure. So they don't want to claim something because if they go for it and it doesn't work out, they fear that.
Yeah. I get that.
I also think environment is a huge thing. I think who you surround yourself with is who you become.
Yeah, I think it's
huge. I think who you surround yourself with, who's giving you affirmations, who is supporting you, because you can go and tell your friend good news and they're not necessarily happy for you.
Yeah.
You know, you see that all the time. You go to your friend and you say, hey, I just got promoted, or I just got a job, or I'm making this amount of money, or I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And on the outside, they might act happy, but on the inside, they might be harboring bad feelings about that.
It's because it's not even about them. Like, if it's not about them, they won't care. And, yeah, bro.
Well, it also sometimes I think reflects back on their own insufficiency. And I think it reflects back on their own shortcomings sometimes.
Yeah.
When they see somebody close to them or in their immediate surroundings doing really well, it makes them face the fact that they're not being all they could be.
Yeah, that's actually,
and they don't like that.
That's huge, bro, because I think that leads to why people talk shit is because they see someone else doing something that they may have realized or something they're trying that makes them happy, and that person comes back and says to themselves, says, I'm not doing a single thing that makes me happy. And that's huge, bro. That can be big. Like, that could be like, that's like, I think that's one of the main things is because they're just too scared because of the people around them may not support them. And that's another thing too. Like, you got to have good people around you. Like, the people who are around you have to support you. And if they don't, then they're not your real friends and they're not meant to be in your life. You know what I mean? It sounds like, like I'm cutting everybody off or blah, blah, blah. But like, it's real, man. It's real because you are who you surround yourself with. And you realize that down the line. You really do, bro.
I'll tell you what. The hardest decisions I've ever made, Kev, the hardest decisions I've ever made in my entire life were decisions of letting people go.
Yeah.
Because, we never want to let people go, right? We never want to let people go. We want to hold on to what makes us comfortable.
Yeah.
There's been times in my life, man, where I've been comfortable. And I didn't have to do a damn thing.
Yeah.
I could have just rode that out for however many years.
Yeah.
But there was always something in the back of my head saying, yo, mother effer. You know what I mean? You got to get after your shit.
Dude,
you got to get after your shit.
Because
don't get content.
It's the thing is that the people that you're around, if they aren't making you the person that you want to be or they're not elevating you, then they're not supposed to be in your life. You know what I mean? Like, there's people that are just bring you down or they're more taxing to be in your life than they are not to be. And the crazy thing is that when you cut that person off, they're going to be questioning, yo, why Kev or why Nick, yo, why you cut me off? They're not going to know why. Only you are. And the hardest thing is to stick into it because you know in your heart that they're not meant for you, to be your friend or like anything. And yeah, I think that's the hardest thing. I think a lot of people are starting to realize that now. You know what I mean? Like, that's why I see a lot of people like delete social media or go off the grid or anything like that. Like, not that they're weird. It's just because they realize the people around them aren't making them better. And that's the biggest thing, bro.
Dude, people probably think I'm crazy. I've deleted my social media and
How many times,
dude?
So many times.
Dude, I've deleted and remade my social media maybe 50 times in the last 2 years.
Shit,
and people are probably like, why does this kid keep adding me and deleting me, adding me and deleting me, adding me? Because I keep going back and forth if I never want this in my life. Dude, there's seriously some times in my life where I've been like, I am never, ever getting this back again. Like I get to that point sometimes and I'm like,
you got to realize,
and
too.
I get rid of it, and then 2 months later, I'm bored one night, and I'm like, maybe I should add it back.
Dude, you got to realize, too, like, how important it is to be connected to a degree. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to be connected.
It is. But it's all about a balance, too.
There's a balance.
I tend to take it over.
Everything.
I tend to take it overboard sometimes. I don't know what it is about me. Around the holiday season, I tend to start drinking a lot of wine, man. A lot of wine.
Big wine boy.
Gives me a warm, fuzzy feeling inside.
There's nothing better than a wine drunk, bro. Real shit.
I'll take wine drunk over any drunk.
Big facts.
Guarantee you that.
Yeah, man.
But I think in this last, probably half hour or so, we want to talk about fall forward.
Yeah.
Right.
It's something I started 3 years ago. Something I kind of stopped doing. It's hard because I was, like I said, like it makes me like, it made me feel like I had like my innocence back a little bit, to be honest. Like, because my biggest thing for me personally is that I want to help people. I want to make a change any way I can. And that's like most people. It's like you stuff like that. But I wanted to do it in a way that was cool. And it's crazy because the first video I did on Fall Forward, I was 21 years old, and I kind of just started off spur of the moment. And I made a video for the Pink Elephant Walk. Every year they do a walk for that. And I just had a crazy idea. Like I woke up one morning, brought my camera, and I was like, yo, let me make a video out of this. And so I walked around the whole, it was in the what was it? Not Port Richmond area. We do a walk every year, raise money for like recovering like addicts and stuff like that. Just a walk to raise money for that. And I made a video, and it got like 16,000 engagements, like crazy number. Like it was the first video, and a lot of people resonated with it, and it made me think like, yo, I think people need this. Like, when you ever start a business or you start something, you can't just do it for no reason. Obviously, because you love it, but there has to be a need. Like there has to be like a need that's like fulfilled. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, so I was like, yo, this could be a thing. I posted on the Fall Forward thing, got like 200 something follows and likes, and I was like, oh, this is cool. So then I started like, I found the reason why I even got Fall Forward in the first place is because I found the Denzel Washington speech.
I've seen it.
Biggest thing.
Great speech.
Yeah, and I was like, dude, Fall Forward, man. Like that's just a real thing. Like, it's a saying. It's a real thing. Like, so I watched that speech and I thought it was like the coolest thing ever. And so I wanted to make a brand named after it. To kind of, I was a freshman or sophomore. I forget. I'm just set the timer real quick. But I was a freshman or sophomore, and I edited a song, a Miguel song, in college with Audacity. I edited it into the speech and I mixed it together. It was kind of neat. I was like 21. I was like, oh, it's like nice.
That's dope.
Because I wanted something to give a good message, whatever. And then I made a tattoo video of me and my sister on our 21st birthdays. We got the matching semicolon.
I can't believe that was
3 years ago.
3 years ago already. Because I remember those tattoos you got like it was yesterday, man.
Dude, same, bro.
Holy shit.
And yeah, so I did that, and I was like, dude, this can be something bigger. Like, I was like thinking so big, bro. Like, I was thinking like, dude, this could be Fall Forward gaming, Fall Forward anything. And I want to make videos of like out there helping people, like supporting causes, whether it's like breast cancer awareness, making merch off it, make a brand off of it, and like be able to use that brand to like if someone buys a Fall Forward like breast cancer awareness hoodie, like that portion of that money can go towards something. You know what I mean? So like I thought that was really cool. And I was in college. I was scared. I was afraid of what people were saying about me or what they were going to say. And a lot of people loved it. And I remember I edited a video for a class project. I used a song that I did, a cover I did for a video for class. And it was like kind of about Fall Forward a little bit, like with the logo and stuff that I made. And someone from class DM'd me. And they said, Kev, like, I don't even know you, but I have, like, I saw you on Canvas, and I saw your name, and I saw your video. Bro, just please know that people want that. Like, people, like, that made me so happy. Like, people say, like, dude, she was like, dude, I just want you to know, like, this can really be something if you just put the effort in. And I was like, damn. But that's
so awesome.
Yeah, bro. I was so young, and I was in school, and I was just like, dude, holy shit. Like, this could be a thing. And dude, like I had my Temple party house. I was dealing with school stuff and, just making excuses for myself. And I was starting music and I was just trying to find myself, man. And it was just so hard. And I didn't have any, like, it was so like lonely because I didn't really have any videographers or like anybody like that. And now I do, but like, it was a lonely path that I felt like I was taking and I just didn't do it and I stopped doing it. But I realized, like, I always go back to it, bro. I think about it every single day. My friend Nicole Dodd bought me a banner for my room, and a Fall Forward banner, and I look at it every day, and I'm like, yo.
Sick.
I'm like, and shout out to her, but I'm like, yo, I need to, like.
Shout out, Nicole.
Yeah. I'm like, dude, I need to keep this going, because I don't stop thinking about it. And
that's how you know.
Yeah, man. And like, all I want to do is just help people, bro. Like, and I want to do it in a way that is cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to do something that can resonate with people, but also promote a healthy cause. You know what I'm saying?
Talk a little bit about the different aspects of it. You got a few different things going on with
yeah, bro,
charity and all that type of stuff.
Yeah. So what I've been doing is I built a website for like a Fall Forward website, and what it's meant for is to, help, sell merchandise and stuff like that. And I'm gonna have like new designs and stuff all the time. I have a shout out to my boy Sonny. He's gonna be the one making my merch.
And this podcast will be on there.
We're gonna do this podcast. We're gonna be doing my music. I'm gonna be promoting music that I actually have a song coming out in January that you've already heard, and I wrote a song for my sister called Free, and the meaning behind it is that you're still figuring out what you want to be. You're not free until you do, and that's so important. So important. I feel like everybody needs to hear that. And so I have a music video coming out for that, and I have a song coming out for that in January. And I built this website that's gonna be able to showcase that.
When is the website gonna be available? Do you know yet?
I'm thinking,
because it's not up yet, right?
Nah, I'm still designing it, but I'm thinking maybe end of December, early January. But I don't know. I mean, I'm excited about it, bro. And I'm excited that you're here with me too. Like, I probably wouldn't be able to do this without you.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm gonna help you every step of the way. I believe in it.
Yeah.
I definitely believe in what you're doing. Because it's so hard these days to find positivity. It's so hard. Everywhere I look, I see negativity. Everywhere I look, I see hate and doubt and fear and anxiety and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I want me and you to be light in the darkness. You know what I mean? People need this type of stuff. People need this type of energy and these positive vibes. And I just want people to know, like, when you turn, like your grandmom's quote, like, when you turn around everything you look at, when you change the way you look at stuff, like, everything in your life just looks so much different. Like, when you believe in people and you put positivity out into the world, it's a loop, man. Bro, it comes back to you, and it all comes back to you.
It's about making yourself happy, and I feel like if you are on this earth and you're not able to give back to other people, or you're not able to make someone else happy, then I feel like you don't have a purpose, bro. Like, and it sounds so fucked up, but I feel like you have to give back in some kind of capacity. Like, dude, remember when me and you, we did the fundraiser at Temple. We did the for when COVID first hit, like you and Michaela and Riley, like, shout out to them too. Like, bro, you were the three people that hit me up to, like,
shout out to Michaela and Riley.
Yeah, man.
Shout out
to them, man. But like, real shit though. Like, once COVID first hit, in my head, I was like,
I recall it well.
Yeah, it was a good time, bro. And like, it was crazy because, and that's another thing. Like, when I had that idea, I said, dude, I want to do a fundraiser for COVID because the frontline workers need it. Like, they need it, bro. Like, they need it because it's hard because we didn't know anything about COVID. We knew nothing about it, and
it's still brand new.
Yeah, still brand new. And we I DJ'd a fundraiser. That's like, it was kind of like a trend. It was trendy. Like, people were DJing on live stream on Facebook, but like, bro, in like 2 hours, we raised $2,000, bro.
That's insane.
$2,000.
That's insane to think about. And one of the biggest things once again, who am I? What do I know? I'm still a young kid, but I feel like I'm figuring it out. One of the biggest pieces of advice I would give to anybody is one of the things I'm learning is one of the most powerful things in the world is gratitude, and being grateful for what you do have.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So often we look at the things that we don't have and we're resentful about it. Why don't I have this, or why don't I have that? Why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to me? But we rarely sit back and think about all the stuff we do have. And we have so much. You know, we live in a free country. We live in America. We live in the greatest country to ever exist.
In the world.
In history. And there's so many opportunities given to us. You know what I mean? And I'm just learning to be grateful. But I do have one question for you.
What's up, bro?
That I wanted to ask you during this.
Yeah.
Is if you could go back to yourself, Kevin Nichols, as going into freshman year at Archbishop Bryan, going into freshman year of high school, coming out of 8th grade, what advice would you give yourself, knowing what you know now at 24 years old? What advice would you give yourself?
It's crazy.
It's a hard question.
That's crazy. That was 9 years ago.
It's insane.
I mean,
Well, for me, it was 10 years ago.
Dude,
it's freaking crazy.
Yeah. If I could go back,
And give your younger self advice on how to handle the years that were coming up.
yeah, man. I mean, first off, you never know what's coming, but I guess I would tell myself, damn, it's a good question.
I know you never know what's coming. I'm just saying,
If I could go back knowing what I know now, I would say pick up an instrument. First off, pick up an instrument, bro, because I feel like that's so. And I did. I played the cello and the bass for like a year, bro.
Hey, that's sick,
bro. It's so corny, but I did because you know why? Because I wanted to do music somehow. I knew even when I was 16 years old, I knew I wanted to do music, and that's how I met one of my best friends, Carolyn. Like it just it's one little decision of taking a music class. You know what I mean? But if I can get back, I would say learn outside of class. Like teachers, learn all the time. If you're not learning, you're not growing. First off, and I'm not talking about school. I'm talking about like maybe stocks or like anything like that. If you're not learning, you're not growing. I would tell myself to, probably work harder in basketball. I would definitely work harder in basketball. Off the court. I would definitely tell myself to find a hobby outside of school and sports, like an instrument or something like that. Cherish the people I'm around, cherish what I have, and cherish how young you are, and take every opportunity and the advantage of every resource you have. Because when you're 16 and you're 15, you're exposed to so much, and that's even college too, bro.
You're not prepared for it.
No, not at all. And just do it without thinking about it. You know what I mean? And high school's a little difficult, man. Just cherish the relationships you have in high school, because you don't always have them. And you know what I mean? And constantly try to teach yourself, learn anything. And find what you like and try to find a way to make money off of it. That's the number one thing too. Save money when you're young too. You know what I mean? And because money's just a thing that we're always gonna have to deal with. And if you're 16 and if you're working a job or whatever, you're gonna have to save money. But
absolutely.
I mean, and I would say too, I would say that question is good for college too, because
college is
no,
fine.
because I would say college too, bro, I didn't take advantage of what I had. I really didn't. I was lazy. I slept in a lot. I partied a lot. But if I had when I was in LA for the summer, I had an internship. I had 2 internships I had an internship for an EDM group, and I had an internship for GBK, which is a celebrity gift lounge type of thing, ESPYs and all that stuff. I would have worked on building relationships. That's the biggest thing. Building relationships, no matter where you're at, whether it's LA or Philly or anywhere, building relationships is huge, bro. And you know that. But because you never know when you're gonna not need somebody, but you know what I mean? You just never know when someone's gonna come back in your life.
It's all about who you know.
Dude, that's the biggest thing.
In a lot of ways.
They could have said that so much simpler.
It's all about who you know.
It's about who you know, but bro, high school, man,
if I had to
enjoy it, bro.
If I had to look back, and I'm looking at Nick Huser at 14 years old right now, and I'm 24.
Dude, we were so short and skinny, bro.
I was a little kid.
We were late bloomers.
Yeah, of course. But we were dogs at the end of the day.
We were dogs, bro.
But
we were.
The biggest thing I would tell myself is never take 1 second for granted.
Yeah, I agree.
Never take 1 second for granted with with anybody. With anybody that you love, with anybody that you're around, with family, with friends, with anybody, because life's short, man.
Yeah,
life
bro.
is so short, and when you're that age, you don't realize how short life is.
Yeah,
do not realize it.
Don't take anyone for granted. That's a good one, bro. Because, dude, the moments I would kill to have my grandma back, that'd be, it's
real talk right there.
Yeah, bro.
That's real talk,
dude. It's crazy. I remember I would go to her grave every day, bro. It's crazy. I even had an incident this summer where I went to a grave and just like was just sipping a bottle, bro. Like
I
just
remember when you
sipping.
did that.
Yeah,
I remember when
yeah.
you were sending me pictures.
I was just sipping a bottle, and it was just like, cause I just missed her. You know, you just miss that person, how they make you feel, and you know what I mean. Yeah, it's just rough, bro. It was,
Just don't take anything for granted. That's
Yeah.
what it comes down to. Anyone listening, do not take anything for
Yeah.
granted, because
yeah, man.
life is short. Life is short, and I'm
Yeah.
only 24, and I know how short life is.
Yeah, man.
Life is short. We don't have that many years, and our time is limited.
Yeah, man.
Our time is finite. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's very, very there's an expiration date on all of us.
We just don't know when.
And don't be jealous, don't be resentful, don't be bitter, don't be hateful.
Yeah, man.
Try to just be the best version of yourself that you can possibly be, and try to be a light in the world, because there's a lot of darkness, man. There's a lot of darkness.
Want to give you a word. Understand. Try to understand people. You know what I mean? Try to understand what they're going through, what they're dealing with, what they're trying to do, why they're trying to do it, instead of just instantly hating. Because something I forgot to mention earlier was that people, like when someone tries to do something, and instead of understanding, like people hate because they become a huge target. Like it's like having the ability to, like, let's say somebody's on the ground and you have the ability to like hit them on the ground. Instead of choosing to do that, you should choose to not do that.
Exactly.
Because it's like a mature thing, like having the choice to not hate on somebody, or not having the choice to not hurt somebody, even though you chose not to, and that just shows character. And I think people just need to know that. And it sounds like, I don't give a shit how the fuck it looks, but people just need to hear that, and I don't care where it comes from. But I think that I kids can't sit silent and
Don't kick someone when they're down.
Yeah, dude. Like I can't. You don't know what anyone's fucking going through, and I feel like now that we're like all old as shit now, we're all out of high school and college. Like you got to understand that now. We're not kids anymore. Like grow up. Like you know what I mean. So it's so hard because people don't know that, and people just try to like be young and live in their like young boy ways. Like you know what I mean. I don't know.
And I think the easiest thing in the world to do is give up.
Yeah.
I think there's so many opportunities to tap out these days.
Yeah.
There's so many opportunities to call quits.
I have some quotes. Keep going, but I have some quotes that I want to show you.
There's so many opportunities to tap out. There's so many opportunities to give in, give up, become hopeless, become bitter, become resentful, become, everything in the book. And I really do feel like there's a battle right now out there, good between evil, good versus evil. And the hardest thing to do in the entire world is to get up every single day and get after it. Even when you don't see anything changing in your life, even when you don't see the results. Because there's nothing harder than that. But you got to keep doing it. You got to keep doing it.
People need to get in that habit. Like, find something that makes you happy and go for it. You know what I mean? Like, because, like, waking up every day and, like, having a plan and, like, doing something with yourself, especially now, because, like, most of us are going to be in lockdown for the next 6 weeks. And, like, I think that's another reason why me and you wanted to do this is because...
Get ready for it. We're going to be coming 6 weeks straight with podcasts.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, bro. Like, it's just, like, something we wanted to do, something we've always wanted to do. And
we're going to do it. And at the end of the day, we're going to do it.
Exactly.
No matter win, lose, or draw, if we get 0 views, if we get 10 million views, we're going to do it.
We don't care. And it's like...
We're going to talk. We're going to speak our truths.
Yeah.
We're going to tell you what we think, and we're going to tell you how we feel, and we're going to try to make an impact.
Absolutely.
We're going to try to make an impact, and the truth will always prevail. At the end of the day, the truth will always prevail.
Yeah, bro. And it's like, there's like I saw something on Twitter where it's like everybody makes a podcast or whatever, but like we have stuff we want to say, and we have a truth we want to speak, and we have a purpose for it. You know what I mean?
If we can do anything for anybody I often think about, like, if I had a younger brother, because for instance, like, I have a younger cousin. He just turned 18, and I talk to him a lot. About he's in high school. Yeah. And he's going through it. You know what I mean?
100%.
He's going through things me and you have already been through. And I often think about if, my advice to him And if me and you can...
Yeah, let's give some advice, bro.
Yeah.
Give some advice.
If me and you can say anything when we're having these podcasts, because we're going to try to do once a week. That's our goal right now. We're going to try to do a podcast once a week.
Yeah.
If we can say anything during this couple hours or make somebody feel better or make their life a little bit easier, then that's our goal, because we want people to avoid going through what we went through. You know what I mean? We don't want anyone to go through the things we've gone through.
Yeah.
And, I mean, there's obviously people who have it much, much worse than us. You know what I mean? But we've been through a few things here and there that we can talk about.
Yeah.
And one thing I always tell my cousin is, you know, sometimes getting everything you want is the worst thing for you.
Yeah, 100%.
Sometimes getting everything you want out of this life is the worst thing for you. I can't imagine. Listen, bro, if I'd gotten everything I wanted in high school, I'd probably be freaking strung out on who the hell knows where I'd be right now.
You wouldn't be where you want to be.
No,
sure.
It wouldn't have gave me that chip on my shoulder to get up and attack things head on.
You've always had a chip on your shoulder.
I've always had a chip on my shoulder. I've always been overlooked. I've always, you know, you too. We've been, we've, and I tell my cousin that. I say, listen, man, there's people in high school who have that perfect high school story, and they get everything they want. You know what I mean? They get the hottest girl, and they get and they get all the, you know, they get all the accolades in sports. They get this, they get that, and then once high school ends, unfortunately,
it means nothing.
It means nothing, and the real world hits them, and they're not ready for that adversity.
It means absolutely.
They're not ready for that adversity. There's beauty in adversity. There's beauty in adversity, man. And adversity is something you should welcome. It really is. It's something that molds you into a person that you want to be. It's something that gives you a chip on your shoulder, and you'll never forget about it.
No.
Whenever you feel holier than thou and you feel like you're on your high horse and you're doing great in life, your mind's always going to bring you back. Hey motherfucker, you were at one point in time you were in the dirt.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It'll humble you. I mean, being out of high school,
and that's very important. Being humble. It's very important.
Humble, man. Absolutely. I wanted to end this off with a few quotes. First off, I want to say that we started this podcast not because it's out of nowhere. It's just because we thought that there was a void and a need that needs to be filled. Some of the toxic stuff in the neighborhood and all that bullshit that I've been seeing recently, I think that people need to hear some things, and then it's like, I feel like it's important. You know what I mean? Like, people need to start caring about mental health. People need to start understanding that how important it is, and everyone tries to be too cool to not, like, face it and embrace it. People need to, if you need help, go to therapy. See somebody, talk about it, encourage the conversation, open the conversation, reach out to people, because people need to start talking about it, bro. I swear to God. And we have 6 weeks to get away from the bars in Philly, to get away from patty whacks, to get away from lumpies, all this stuff. Really take a look at yourself and really try to understand what the problem is.
There's things at this point, like Kev said, that needs to be addressed. There's things that need to be addressed, and I don't give a fuck about opinions anymore.
Yeah,
I don't give a fuck about opinions. This is life or death type of shit at this point.
Yeah, bro.
You know, there's people who are killing themselves. There's people who are committing suicide. There's people who are...
Yeah. There's people,
there's people over the next few years, I hate to say it, God forbid, unfortunately, who could commit suicide. You know what I mean?
I mean, dude, it's just it's just getting to the point where,
and it's got to the point where somebody needs to speak up.
We need to start,
and we're trying to make a difference in a positive way. That's all we're doing.
Yeah,
we're just trying to be positive. We're not tearing anybody down, and that's all we want to do. We just want to be positive.
And so, I read a book called "Unfuck Yourself" by Gary Bishop. I listened to the audiobook.
I also did.
Yeah, very good book.
It's a good book.
Very good book. It helps with a lot of things if you're feeling like you're unfulfilled in life or you don't have a direction. It definitely helps with that. It definitely gets you motivated. It definitely gets you inspired. So I have some things that I wrote down from the book. Take them as you will. So ask yourself if you're willing or you're unwilling. if you're willing to do something or you're unwilling to do it, because that'll answer your question for you. Like, am I willing to do music and go through criticism? Yes. Am I unwilling to do music? Like, you know what I mean? It kind of, you got to ask yourself these questions. Ask yourself if you're willing to do something, because then that'll answer it for you. If you're not willing to do it, that's fine. Just know that it'll weave things out.
You can't count the cost. You can't count the cost. If you're doing something, you got to be willing to take whatever's going to come with it.
Yeah.
And keep going.
100%. And this is another big thing too. Inaction breeds doubt and fear. Action breeds strength and courage. Inaction breeds doubt and fear, and action breeds strength and courage. And another one is simply act. Simply act. Just by doing. Like, we can, like, this is me and Hugh's first podcast, or if you guys didn't know, which we told you, but this is our first podcast, and you know what I mean? We're learning. Like, we're gonna, the setup's gonna get better. We're gonna learn how to, you know, maybe have a conversation better. I mean, I think we're doing fine right now, but like, you know what I mean? Like, simply act. Just by doing it. Like, I'll give you an example. Like, if you go back on my YouTube page, on Kevin Nichols' YouTube, like, the first covers I did, I didn't know how to mix music for shit, bro. Like, I didn't know how to mix for shit, and it sounded awful, and the videos sounded god awful.
The book I mentioned earlier, 12 Rules for Life, with the guy Jordan Peterson. Yeah. One of the things he talks about all the time is start by doing it badly.
Yeah.
Start by doing it badly.
And you have to. You have to.
Each week, you guys will see the quality of these podcasts will get better. The conversations will get better. Everything's going to get better. Yeah, every single week, everything will get better. It takes time.
Absolutely.
So you just gotta put yourself out there and do it. Yeah, you just gotta do it.
Yeah, like I said, like, if you go back on my YouTube and watch all my old covers, like, they don't sound that great, and I feel like they're just getting better and better. Like, the quality, like the production is just getting better. I'm getting more plugins. It's like it's the evolution naturally. Evolution. You know what I'm saying? Here's another one. Change your life by changing your actions. That's a big one. It's simple. Change your actions. Like, if you're not happy with something, actively sit and try to change it. It doesn't have to be anything drastic, because I understand. Like, you know, I mean, I go through this, bro. Like, I wake up one day, I want to go to the gym, or I want to read a book, and I'll be so into that book, or I'll be so into the gym that day. But, you know, constantly going to the gym and constantly reading, like, every day, trying to challenge yourself every day is hard. You know what I mean? But you just got to constantly challenge yourself. And
that also, for some reason, just reminded me of the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result.
Yeah.
That how often do we continuously do the same bad habits or partake in the same things that have gotten us nowhere, or have led to dead ends, or have made us feel depressed, or have made us feel miserable. Yeah. And we do it over and over again, and it's always the same result, and we always expect it to be different.
Exactly.
It's amazing. It sometimes it takes you 500 cracks on the head before you wake up and change your life.
Yeah,
you know?
There's got to be a point where something changes.
Everybody's on a different journey.
All right, ready. I am not my thoughts. I am what I do. I am not my thoughts. I am what I do.
That's great.
An opinion only becomes true when you believe it and accept it. So, take that for what it is, man. That can apply to our entire conversation we just had. So I'm not going to go too deep into that. But an opinion only becomes true when you believe it and accept it.
That's powerful.
I want to blaze a trail, not follow one. Expect nothing and accept everything.
Wow.
That's the biggest one. That's the biggest one. You're the best hype man ever. That's the but
say that one more time. Say that one more time.
Expect nothing and accept everything. Expect nothing from another person, but accept whatever happens to you.
That if you don't take anything else from this podcast, however long this is going to be, please take that.
This one's long as shit.
No, please take that quote from this and just apply it to your life, please.
The only way to improve your internal world is to take action in the external one. Damn. That's good. Work in the dark to let your light shine brighter. That's huge.
That's huge,
dude. These are fucking.
You're dropping dimes on me right now,
knowledge,
dog.
Bro. Luck is for someone who can't define their success. I don't know how I feel about that one. everybody needs a little luck. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hard work also creates luck.
Yeah.
Work ethic creates luck.
Yeah, I agree with that one. Real change hurts.
That's very true.
Real change
That's fucking true to the bone right
it
there,
hurts,
man.
bro.
Anytime I've been in my life, where I didn't want to change my habits and my behavior, and I forced myself to, it was it was like burning off dead wood.
Yeah.
It was burning off dead wood off myself.
Yeah. Your ability to predict is your ability to survive. Your ability to predict is your ability to survive. I get it.
Anticipation.
I get it. You know what I mean? I get it.
I understand it.
I get it.
I understand. I understand
I get it. You know what I mean?
It's not one of those book dropping lines where you're like, what?
I jotted it down, bro. This was in February. February 3rd I did this.
So we're coming up on a year almost, huh?
Yeah, almost, yeah.
Nice.
Wanting new, addicted to the familiar. Wanting new.
Holy shit, man.
Wanting new, but addicted to the familiar. That's crazy.
That's why it's so hard to break away from your patterns and break away from your toxic relationships and break away from your toxic friendships.
Yeah.
And create a new life and recreate your experience and yourself is because you're addicted to that toxicity.
Yeah,
you're
bro.
addicted to it. It's not comfortable changing. It's not comfortable.
Change is hard. Change is hard because it requires you losing people
and sometimes it requires you burning off 95% of yourself that you thought was your real self, but it really wasn't. And it requires you a lot of times to be by yourself.
Yeah,
and a lot of people don't want to do that.
And you might be lonely some of those times.
Absolutely.
Last one. We'll wrap the podcast up after that. But you can't do new without risk. And that's pretty simple.
And that's self-explanatory. And a lot of those quotes right there pretty much explained, pretty much in gist, everything we've talked about. Yeah. Honestly.
Yeah. But
that was a great way to end it.
Yeah, but like I said, new Fall Forward website coming out in January. New song dropping January 8th called Free. We'll talk about that more in the next episode. But yeah, man, this is the Loft, and cheers, bro.
Stay tuned for these podcasts.
Yeah, bro.
Weekly. Keep up to date with us. Dude. Keep following us. Thank you, guys.
This was a good first episode. Kevin Nichols, Nick Huser, and peace.